voting impacts every aspect of your life, from affordable housing to your beaches, your parks, your roadways, your education, healthcare, so many things.
This election year is super important all the way down at the local and county and city level, not just the presidential race. So it's super important that we all get out and vote. Please encourage your family, friends, coworkers, everyone that you know that's of age to vote, to make sure that they go out and cast their vote in November.
I think it's important to vote in all elections because in order for us to think globally, we have to act globally. So that includes things with our education and not just our presidential elections, and every cause that's important to you, whether it's climate change, reproductive rights, or human rights. Everybody should be voting because all of our local elections do impact that.
Request your vote by mail ballot and encourage your friends and family to do so. It is so easy, it's secure, and it is really important. Go to the Supervisor of Election website. This year we have less than 100,000 because of new laws that have come into place. That new law requires all voters to complete a new vote by mail ballot for every election cycle.
You are asserting yourself. You are extending the desires that you have for your community and yourself when you vote. Your vote matters.
Everything that is important to us, from the amount of taxes we pay to the quality of our lives, depends on elected officials.
I'm voting because it's my first time voting, and this is one of the many ways that you can make a difference.
I encourage everyone to get out and vote or vote by mail, but it's important for people with disabilities and that we get out and vote in person.
I'm a veteran of the Vietnam War, and the government is really run by the people that you vote into office. If you want to change the government, the most important thing that you have to do is vote.
Yo voto en honor a mis padres, que sacrificaron todo para venir a un país donde tenemos voz a través de nuestro voto.
I vote because I feel it's my responsibility as a citizen to get out and vote, to make a difference in my community and in this country.
So we need you to show up and exercise your right to vote.
Voting is important to me because representation matters, and I truly believe that we should elect people into office that represent the community they serve.
I grew up in the civil rights era when people really died so that we would have the right to vote. So I really don't have any option but to exercise that right because our vote is our voice.
Tu voto es tu voz. Y este año estamos en elecciones. Es supremamente importante para nuestra comunidad latina estar consciente de estos momentos.
To the people who say that it's rigged or that you don't vote because you don't feel like your voice will be heard, those are all false accusations. Really, each individual vote matters. It's the mass majority when we come together what makes the difference.
So go out and vote, look out for yourself, and look out for others around you.
I think it's so important for us to vote, not just nationally, but definitely for our local leaders.
Like voting at a local level, which I think is something a lot of people overlook. Like those local officials are creating the policies that are going to directly affect you first, even if it's just from anything like street lights or, you know, stuff going on with your schools.
Of course, can't just show up and cast the ballot. I wanted to, get involved as much as I could. So the second I found out about poll working was actually through the League of Women's Voters. And I'm going to be doing poll working for both August and November.
Pas oublier pour voter toute loi qui est importante pour pays, État et communauté locale.
It has been a responsibility of mine to make sure my voice counts in the local, state, and federal elections.
and also is important for me to show my boys that it is important to express your opinions, to make sure your ballot counts.
Right now, I'm finna pre-register so I can be able to vote when I turn 18.
Avec si pour voter, putem tirar représenter Haïti, qui une qui se finit de payer là, mais une qui est fait, qu'on peut payer vraiment pour représenter.
I vote because I believe that I have power to change communities and the world with my vote.
If you want your vote to be heard and cast your vote, you can vote by mail, vote early, or vote on election day.
Women, civil rights leaders, and veterans have sacrificed everything so that we can have this opportunity. Make your voice heard on August 20th and November 5th.
I urge everyone to study the issues, study the candidates, become informed, and by all means vote.
I like voting by mail because it gives me the opportunity to research candidates and ballot questions. I like the freedom to take my time in making decisions about the important questions. If you want to vote by mail, make sure you request your ballot by October 24th and return it by the general election day of November 5th.
I vote because I want to make sure that I use my voice for good, that I have the ability to help others enact change throughout their communities as well, and give my daughter a fair chance and an opportunity to have the rights that I know she deserves.
It's very important to get voting out there, especially to the students around my age group who some don't have as much information about voting. If you want change, you have to be the person to bring about it. You have to actually go out, educate yourself more on how you can actually help your community, help your other friends, your family.
It's such a privilege to have the opportunity to vote. There are so many reasons to vote. I believe having a voice in such an uncertain time is extremely important. If we don't like something, we have to make every effort to do something about it. So get out and vote.
So the reason why I vote is in honor of those who went before us, who made it possible for us to vote. And also for a better future, a better life, a better world for my kids and grandkids.
Voting is a way that I can actively engage and make sure that there are politicians in place that have similar values to me and also believe in the same policies that I believe.
I want to vote for someone who represents my ideas, my values, and if I don't go out and see information about it, like, how am I gonna know? Like, that's the first thing. Like, you have to learn about it, you have to see the information, and then you're ready to vote. Like,
if there's policies that you want to see enacted in the local and federal governments, then it's important that you get out there and vote for the person who most aligns with your policies. If we don't get out and vote, then we leave ourselves open to somebody else's choices.
In Pennsylvania, Alaska, and Florida, I've been part of League of Women Voters, which is an education in itself, because in League, through Speakers Bureau and monthly meetings, you get a chance to meet the candidates and hear their views firsthand. So you're getting a lot of information and not misinformation.
I'm voting in 2024 because the things I care about most are on the ballot this year, and I actually have a chance to make a difference.
I vote because I want my daughter to have a better future.
Voting is an important part that we all play in order to better our communities. It's a small thing that we could do once to twice, maybe 3 times a year to ensure that our voices are heard and to make sure that we have the people elected in the positions that are important to us.
The reason that I am here is I try to vote in every election, and now for the folks who are blind, they have accessible voting. You can go in and every precinct will have one machine that is accessible.
Voting matters to me and my community, mainly because it allows our voices to be heard on certain issues. If we all pitch in our vote, it will matter.
What would you say to a young person who's trying to decide if their vote actually matters?
If you don't like what's going on right now, you have to vote. You can make a change.
Go out in your community, vote. It's important. I know every vote counts. You don't have to share who you're voting for, but I think as a citizen, we should be taking advantage of those rights.
Everybody wants to be an informed voter. You know, nobody's going to the polls just dying to be bewildered by what's on the ballot. but not many people know where to start. There's lots of resources out there, and we're not sure who we can trust. But that's why the League of Women Voters of Palm Beach County have really put a lot of effort into Vote 411. Vote 411 has all the information you need from registration to election. And the candidates themselves fill in their own information. They answer questions and they provide their thoughts.
The presidential elections aren't the only thing that matters in 2024. There are countless elections that affect your daily life.
So we must vote. We must have democracy in our hands.
You heard it here first. You should vote your vote every chance you get.